Kneel before Zod!
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zob. But anyway, man, unfortunately, once again, another rapper has got killed in Los Angeles. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it off the bat because most people know. Rest in peace, DRAKEO. I know there's a lot of people that I deal with that didn't necessarily like him, but then again, there's a lot of people that I did mess with and still do mess with that found that DRAKEO was one of those rappers that was really putting on for Los Angeles. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not to exclude anybody else, but at the end of the day, he's the one that lost his life yesterday, and it was reported that he lost his life because he got stabbed in the neck. I don't know why the altercation took place, but you know, for the most part, it's Los Angeles, and a lot of people just don't like each other. And I'm not gonna get on here and sugarcoat the fact that DRAKEO was one of those that was really disrespectful towards his ops or whoever he had issue with. You know what I mean? He's made multiple songs disrespecting people's dead and was basically putting it out there like he couldn't be touched. Now, understand that I do the same exact thing, but I'm not DRAKEO, and dude was on a different level, and a lot of people hated him just as much as they loved him. But to be honest, it was just one of those things that was unfortunate. There's a lot of videos out on the internet right now talking about the lax in security and the fact that, you know, allegedly there was a security that was allowing them to come in with weapons. There's a video out that says something that was talking about the fact that he was only allowed to bring 15 people in, and the other person was allowed to bring in more than 100. And it's just one of those things when it comes down to it. Even though DRAKEO was heavily loved in Los Angeles, he was also heavily hated. And when it comes down to the whole gangbanging thing, you know, it has a lot to do with who's actually, you know, doing the security. And for the most, and just to be honest, a lot of the people that are in charge of things are in fact gangbangers. So it's like, it's understandable that people would look out for their homies before they look out for anybody else. And it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it's like people tell me, when you put certain energy out on the internet, it comes back for you. You know, dude had a chance to stop being disrespectful towards a lot of people, and he chose to continue the same energy. Every time he got bust, he got out on the same energy. It was just disrespectful, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things that you gotta be willing to accept the consequences. Just like I said, it's unfortunate that they killed him, because I really see them going a lot of different places. And to be honest, I actually asked him for a collaboration, but my bread ain't that on that level. So, you know, and the good thing, it's not even that he turned me down. It's just my bread wasn't on that level, which I had to accept. You know, either get your bread up or, you know, back off. But I'm gonna tell you something about Los Angeles when it comes to the rap game. There's a lot of blackballing, there's a lot of backdoor, and there's a lot of cats that just don't want to see you shine, especially if you're allegedly responsible for somebody that may have died that was heavily loved. Now, in the streets of Los Angeles, and not even in the streets of Los Angeles, just the general rule, it's who has the most money and who has the most influence. And like I said, even though gangbangers should be separated from the industry, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of clicking up, you know what I mean? Especially when cats want to get you out the way, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Sometimes it just comes down to the fact that you won't collab with them. They want to get you out the way. But like I said, unfortunately, DRAKEO lost his life yesterday, and it was mostly due to the fact that it was a lax in security. And that, you know, the thing I understand, this is what I want to put out there. If you have a bag winner, and what I mean by bag winner is the one that's making the most money, that's putting your whole squad on, you should be protected. You already know pretty much who they're coming for. It's like me being out in a crowd, and my enemies are right there. Anybody that might possibly hate me, you know, I can be around all my homeboys, but I know who they're coming for, because why? I'm disrespectful, and they want to make an example out of motherfucker. But I think, you know, as much as it was a lax in the security, it was also lax in his circle, because to be honest, if you got somebody on DRAKEO's level and you know that he's hated the way he is, you're supposed to form a circle. He's pretty much the president in that situation. So you got to be willing. That's why I say it goes to show when cats. That's why I move pretty much by myself. Like, I don't go a lot of places with my homeboys, and it's not that I know they won't handle their business, but it's just like I pretty much like to keep my life in my own hands, because I know for myself I'm gonna go to war if it's that serious. And a lot of these cats that put it out here on the internet of what they'll do and who they willing to bust for and who they willing to put in work for, at the end of the day you cannot trust that. The whole thing with Dolph, you know, you got shooters around you that didn't even shoot, you know what I'm saying, allegedly. I say allegedly because, you know, it's not my business, but it's just like those are the type of cats you got to really watch out for. You got to really be around cats that are just tested. And even the ones that are tested, you never know the situation in which time they're going to fold. There's a lot of cats that are known for busting, but then, you know, they get in certain situations. Maybe there's a camera or two and that same energy just leaves them. So they don't, you know what I mean? They don't feel the need to want to throw their life away. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a circle you move within. All I'm saying is like this, man. For the people to understand, it's like when you put shit out there in the ether, it comes back on you. Regardless of whether you might think you're sliding through, it's always universal karma. If you have the chance to refrain from saying certain things, and you know, especially if you're afraid of the consequences, you should refrain from put it out there. If you're one of those individuals that just don't care, then it's just what it is. You know, either karma will visit you on a later date or it might be immediate. But in some way or shape or form, karma will revisit you. And a lot of times it might not even be you. It might be somebody you're closest to, which is only going to make you go do something else. And I'm not gonna hold on to that. All I'm gonna say is like this, man. For the people that's out here or the people that may want to come to Los Angeles, understand this: if you come out here with weird energy will revisit you. You can't be disrespectful to people and not be on your toes. It's just one of those things. Like I said, I'm always dolo for the simple fact I really don't try to get people caught up in my madness. But that's just a universal code, you know what I mean? It's like karma. Do unto others as you want done unto you. And if you're putting that negative energy out there in the ether, you're going to get smacked eventually. If you don't get smacked, something in some shape or form is going to happen to you. So, you know, people can't really cry about it. It's just one of those things that happen. And in Los Angeles, unfortunately, DRAKEO was, you know, he had the, I won't even say had the key, but he was a known name. And he put a lot of people on, and his name is synonymous with winning. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's done, you know what I mean? But that's a life, and that's Los Angeles. It's grimy as hell, so you gotta understand what comes with it. You see them putting out bulletins that LA ain't the place to come to. It's really not. It's really not. If you moving grimy, it's really not. And if you do, you better keep that blick on you all times. Day, sleep, you better keep that blicky on you. But like I said, that's a life that DRAKEO chose. And like I said, it's sad because it's another talent loss. It's like when we lost Biggie, we lost Tupac. And not to say DRAKEO was on that level, but I mean, he was doing his thing and a lot of people love this music. So Dolph died, you know, it's a lot of, the industry is grimy right now, and people, and this is what I'm gonna put out there. If you saying certain shit on the music, people are gonna expect that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of clout chasers out here. Like right now, this dude DRAKEO ain't even in the grave yet, and you got cats that I don't even know. They just random ass cats like, oh, I did it, you know, or, you know, and just putting out all types of goofy ass shit, like, and it's just one of those things, man. Like, clout is a motherfucker nowadays. Before, it's like people used to want to keep their mouth shut on what happened. Like, you can hint at shit, but to put out full details, you got cats on the internet right now putting out details like, oh, I did this, I did that. And they weren't even there, dog. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's just people looking for attention, and people will do anything. That's what I'm saying, man. Keep motherfuckers around you. If you're going to live that life, keep the motherfuckers around you that you know is going to get out and bust for you. You should never have to put a gun in your hand if you're the bag winner. But if you keep motherfuckers around you that proclaim to do it but never been fully tested, you put in your life, that's like asking the devil to look out for your back instead of praying to God, you know what I mean? Or whatever deity you want to choose. But it's one of those situations like, hey, devil, can you help me out? nah, you're gonna die. He ain't looking out for you, and that's exactly the equivalence of what you got to deal with when you're dealing with cats in your circle. Like, oh yeah, I'm willing to shoot for you, and then when time come up, the motherfuckers freeze up, and you know what I'm saying? They clutch, but they don't bust. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, RP DRAKEO, and this video was just basically just to, you know, let people know like shit is real. RP DRAKEO, you know what I mean?